Sanje Chudam
Soki Chognam La
Shancha Bada Dhamma
Suji Bagi Shengen Kesonanti Kola Pinche Songe Lopasho Sanje Chula Soki Chognam La Shachu Balu Dagi Chasuchi Dagi Shengen Kesonanti Kola Pinche Songe Lopasho Sanje Chula Soki Chognam La Shachu Balu Dagi Chasuchi Dagi Chuje Jebe Sonanti Yoga Pinche Sange Rapasho.
Okay, good evening again. For sleeping? You want to bring your pillow? Okay, good evening everyone. Again. Yeah.
Good evening, Gashlu.
Okay, how's the weather outside? So this afternoon, this morning, a little bit, what do you call it?
Hail.
Yeah. What's hair?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yep. After April, we call maybe we got snow. Yep. I heard something they got snow. Wow. What?
Not here. We're not here.
Where?
Like New Hampshire.
Don't go to New Hampshire, okay? If you like snow, go to New Hampshire.
Then it'll be 60s next week.
Yeah. They teach for us how to impermanence. Okay, good. First, we can do a little meditation, okay? The meditation a little bit, calm body, right? You know, shine, go shine. The better go shine means means peace mind, name is stable that. Therefore, concentration, any objects, according to Buddhism, some Buddha image is better. And try to focus, concentration on that. Clear and tight is important. Whenever you meditation, like sleeping, coming, going, it doesn't work. You need to be clear and tight. It's very important. To be called sarcha and nyecha. It's clear and like tight. In order to that, also not too long. There's like maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Again, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Sometimes we say, I don't get any feeling right now. True, you don't get because you're not able to, concentration and follow that. But it become more familiar as more strong. Then you will see the result. As maybe you guys doesn't know how to make the butter. Butters come from the milk. Then how they shake. It's better than normally we do like shake like maybe like 1 hour. Shake. Then here the technology is different, but we do like that. Some put the back, like animals come, they put the milk there and always just shake like that. Then like 1 hour, they can separate from butter and milk. This, therefore, anything we do effort, it will show the result. Not effort, it doesn't get the result. Of course, there's some benefits. Okay? Therefore, try to calm body. Try to very clear and tight. No change object, okay? Okay, usually we say there's a Buddha's image is good for also. The object of Buddha's image also make the create more merit. Therefore, we choose the Buddha image. Okay? Okay, like maybe 10 minutes.
more practice.
Everyone need more practice. Not just you, we all need more practice. But we try as much as we can. Okay? Come to the home tonight. Okay, anyway, then come to go to in here. Okay. 당선 변한 남배 추치베게 에나 구바가 무이야. 때 남도 가림 바꾸고 요래.
So we have to know what is the purpose and the reason, for practicing Dharma.
아니 다 무이야 타두데 가제 네 소소 묘모도 잡아. 여머나 동안에 잡아. 여머나 산지 고모도 외쳐야 돼 말이야.
The ultimate purpose, of practicing Dharma, is to be free from the delusions, to achieve liberation, and eventually to achieve a state of full enlightenment.
근데 영화 시발라 아니 지금도 된지가 묘모 세대 가르치 봐. 무슨 말이지? 묘모 세대 나를 가르쳐 줘요. 대학교 고고요 말이야.
So, in order to fulfill that ultimate purpose, of practicing Dharma, which is abandoning the delusion. So, first, in order to abandon the delusion, you have to understand what is delusion.
아니 된데 영화 찾다 로조 매나 아니 다 묘모 가르쳐 줘요. 매 가리 빵금 신거 말아.
So, in order to do that, you have to understand the delusion, and in order to understand, you have to study. So, if you don't study, then you will not know about the delusion, what problems that the delusions create, and what kind of the delusions there are, and how to abandon them, and so forth. So, we have to study that.
아니 된데 제네 아니 그러고 묘모세 가림 봐 아니 수수 로종치 아니 곰잡 삼로 땅에 아니 세마치 내셔 녀바이 좋아이나 아니 묘모세데 빵라야 치레라오다.
So by studying, if you understand, what is the delusion and how to overcome it and so forth, then you apply that into your practice by doing a meditation. And so if you do that, and then it is possible, or it becomes easier to abandon the delusions.
내가 다 묘모세데 간래야. 묘모세데 간래진 거 생겨요. 시당 묘모세데.
So what is delusion in general? How do you identify delusion in general?
Okay, Mark.
A delusion is a projection that's not congruent with reality.
You're too far. Okay, you can say another person, Jennifer.
It's like but it is disturbance of the mind.
Well,
I would agree. It's a mental state that disturbs the peace of mind.
okay, you believe that. Okay, that's good. All the things, Zamzam Ganzo, then the Shaitan, yeah, Mark, you're right. Shaitan, then the Chanti Tar Mushu Shagdos.
Oh yeah, what you said is right, but it's kind of a little bit advanced.
Yeah. Nire Bina. Suzujala, Samsu country, but she was something Tindig, something, Suzu, no Mosa. It's something like she passed, then your Mosa.
So, in general, when we talk about the delusion, it's a kind of mind, a mental factor, or mind, right? So whenever that mind arises, if that makes you unhappy or disturbs your peace of mind, then that's called delusion.
Okay. We have that. It's like a very simple, right? You don't need to look very deep ones. Sometimes we go too deep. We didn't go here. In order to, you need to go to the third floor. You need to start from fourth floor. Like that. Therefore, we need to understand the delusion or illusion or no illusion, delusion or delusion like that. Okay. The day, any time. 아니 다 딘디가 계속 맞아 오는 것도 추심에 추 쉐발라 때니 나 누마다 마다바 때 선바 거의 한부 내가 가래 돈에 제대로 쉬고이나 야 추지가 되게 판도요.
So even if one is not able to abandon any of these delusions, but by having started to do the practice or study Dharma, if one has become more relaxed, more acceptable, to the problems and sufferings or the things that go around and go wrong around. So if you're able to do that, then that's a very good a result of also having studied and practiced Dharma.
배나 나주 맞지면 해라 배나 단대간 내서 쉬어야 봐지. 대내서도 나주 맞지면 해라 존나 땅고는 앞 전에 그러면서 갈래터들이나 단다 나주 채워라 때는 안 되려야. 돈에 제도도 선배 소소로 초월해나 다 약고용 거예요.
So same kind of situation that arise, and when that kind of situation arises, before you practice Dharma, you couldn't handle it. But after you have started to practice Dharma, you are able to accept it, handle it more, peacefully. So if that happens, then that is the good sign of having practiced Dharma.
배나 나도 계속 이시와나 미 파초에 나도 거라 가르치는 게 요매 나도 거는 대 가도 말해. 미 파초에 나도 가르치에 요한테 나도 가도 말해. 아니 얘만 나도 수수 될래야 돈에 가르치면 돼 나도 라파요.
So there is nothing we can do about what people talk about us, right? You can't do anything, what people talk about us, what people think about us. But how we handle that is up to us. We have that, that ability, right? So we can, handle that. We can accept it and say, oh, it's okay, doesn't matter. Or we can get angry and be very frustrated.
딘디기 삼수도 무심바 수직 제도가 말해 소소 맞아.
So that kind of thought, of accepting or convincing oneself that this is okay, it can be only done by oneself. No one else can do it for you.
소소 밤의 제도가 말해 소소 개개의 제도가 말해 소소 빈자의 제도가 말해 마음이죠. 소소랑 제도다.
So that is the practice, that has to be done by oneself, right? Nobody else can do it for you. Not your parents, not your teacher, not your friends. It's only done by yourself.
멤버가 제도가 말해.
And not even the doctors.
제 가르쳐나 두두 쌤그 솜들어 멤버가 지잖아. 또 갑자기 딘디기 따들 내가 맞아 제시한 맞아. 문니 쌤 땡겨다 강에 메워서도 말해 소소 맞아.
So not even those the mental doctors like psychiatrists, yeah. So they cannot do. They can only give you medicine, and maybe an injection, to your nerves, and that kind of makes you a little bit, like sleepy or or lost, kind of lost. Make you feel like that, but you cannot get rid of those problems, or will not be able to help you accept and tolerate those sufferings, those problems.
배치는 것도 수자매 정도 수자매. 샤지다가는 수자매 정도.
For example, like the painkiller or the anesthesia. So when you do a surgery, you take you're given anesthesia, right?
그게 내가 가니지 우리야.
So that makes you have no feeling, right? You don't feel the pain. How does that work?
What do you think? Yeah, you're the doctor or you're a nurse.
Well, I mean, it interrupts with the neurotransmitters.
What do you mean? They just cut off the
Well, no, the nerves, they shoot chemicals from
Yeah.
one nerve to another, and that
what they block
receptors.
they block their way or what they do.
Well, the receptor that kind of like goes like this is the end of one nerve, and like they attach, and then they go, right? So it changes the receptivity on the nerve, it doesn't attach, so you don't sense the pain.
가서 그래.
Come on, so it blocks the nerves.
Receptor sites on the nerves, yeah.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Anyway, when the medicine's power gone, they're same feeling, right? But anyway, therefore only we can change our mind. We can, do the action from ourselves. 진짜 영어 시발에 내려고 하면 다 진짜 영어 탑실하다는 것은 남백이야. 쉬운데 삼모 땅다 시고 삼모 땅 거다.
And so this is the that's the only way, is to do the practice by oneself. And and to do that, of course, you have to study the Dharma that is explained in Buddhism.
Okay, now Mark is not here. He have to do homework. You're absent last couple of weeks. You have to do homework.
I'll have to do extra credit.
If you pass the homework, you get extra credit. Okay, which verse we are today?
Verse 40.
Yeah. 단디 내가 가서 그러죠. 가지 당간도 그냥 칼라 서비 걸로 삼부터 가야 당고 이마. 온다 냐요 걸로 삼부 가야 당고 이마. 아니 참 되게 그나 냐버 서비 걸로 삼부 간도. 아니 냐버 마찬가지 버지 춘좀 걸로 삼부 된지 그 마셔 참아 말아 왔어.
So before this, we talked about what to do, how to do, what to do when we eat, what to do when we go to sleep, right? How do we go to sleep? How do we eat? And what to do, during the meditative equipoise, and what to do, during the post-meditative equipoise.
Okay, Mr. Mao, can you recite for verse 38 and memorize? This is how to offer your food.
Okay. Recognize that food is like medicine. Eat without desire or anger. Do not eat out of vanity, hatred, or egoism. You should eat only to maintain your body.
This is homework. Everyone memorize it, isn't it? You have one number go down. What's that number? What is that? Number what is that? You one credit go down. Okay, now we are going to verse 40. Okay, 다 되게 가다 다 내가 아니 깨워 아니 추무당 진지 내 삼보 땅땅디 다 천수 많이 살아서.
So now starting from the verse 40, so up to here, it kind of went through all the practice that is done on the small and medium scopes path.
다 태와 침불남도 아니 내만 고쪽 요래 태와 침불남 이랬잖아.
And then from here, it starts how we practice the Mahayana path.
다 태라 냠내게 내 마보 옆에 나네 담보 다 참이가 삼았다 다 세메시고 뭐 요래서.
And there are many practices on the Mahayana path that's to be done. And among them, the first one is to start with the four immeasurables.
Okay, what are they? If you pass, you can come back.
Okay. Equanimity.
In short time, okay, only 5 seconds.
Jeopardy.
You get too long time, you pass.
Compassionate love. No, compassion, nurturing love, equanimity, and
Oh, sorry. Again,
he'll be sweeping the yard again.
In monastery, that's just the punishments. You have to do prostration like 2 hours, front all the monks, puja time. Anyway, sorry, you correct. Again, go to. Can you recite the verse? We recite the verse for every day. May all sentient beings, happiness and
Causes happiness.
and
Avoid suffering. Causes.
very low, a little bit loud.
May all sentient beings have happiness and all causes of happiness. May all beings are free from suffering and the causes of suffering.
And
May all beings rejoice in the well-being of others.
what?
May all beings live in peace, free from greed and hatred.
In a different book.
I think are you looking book or you recite memorize?
No, I'm not memorized, of course. I write it down. Yeah. To be honest, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anyway. 잠좀 가도 수도 가디는 체리거든. 나도 가르치고 하고만 너희 호흡 관리 그런 것도 라도도 와. 대마이 봐. 남주 소소 너희 tundu도 소소 칸에 가르려고 해. 뒤텐다 가르에 뭐들로 샤바시나 아니 냠을 뱅겨래.
So normally, when we recite these things, we don't even pay attention to what we're reciting. We've been reciting this every day, right? I mean, every day when we have the puja or teaching, and we recite it all the time, and we have already memorized it. But we don't pay attention, to the meaning. So it's good, to all these short, recitations that we do, to pay attention to the meaning also.
Okay. Okay. Now recite this one. Yeah. Verse 40. Yeah.
Constantly and perfectly cultivate love, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Even if you do not attain the highest goal, you will attain the bliss of the Brahma realms.
Okay. 안디 가르든다. 아니 딱 그대에 봐나. 샘전에 이제 대화다 된대지 삼바들라. 샘지 간에 진 통화이나. 누가 나등에 가사지 바이나리. 대화 용등에 간에 진 통화이나. 샘전 대 소주 가리나 대 통화 탐지 대 대화다 됐나 쩌마로 댐브라 제치 댐브라 쇼 된지게 삼듯이 쇼와나 아니 샴바스 된사로와.
The first is the love, right? So love, is wishing others to be happy. So whenever you see any kind of being, whether they are suffering, whether they are happy, no matter what situation they are in, what condition or situation they're in, just wishing them to be happy. So just may they be happy. How wonderful it will be if they are happy. May they be happy like that. So just having that thought is called love.
드리켓 소리be.
Will you be able to generate that kind of thought whenever you see somebody, some beings?
beings. 다 나중에 아니 샘제 간에 지치 강에 여도 리당 샘당 내가 거기 강에 왔도나 되니까 강에도 나타나 치마로 타와 제지 된지 타와 사지도 현재도 신gel라버쇼 되니까 칸에 나와도만 뭐 샘도 초에 버쇼와이나 인지에서 성당이야.
And then whenever you think of any beings, with any kind of problems, any kind of external, internal problems they have, and then wish them to be free from those sufferings. So this says how wonderful it will be if they are free from those sufferings. May they be free from those sufferings. May the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless them to be free from those sufferings. So if you think like that, then that's called compassion, wishing them to be free from the suffering. And just by having that thought, you accumulate immeasurable merits.
It's possible. It's not just say the word, it's something feeling. If you say like this thing to words you can recite, something you also goosebumps, some feelings, maybe tears coming. It really shows you have something to, a little bit moving our mind. 그렇지. 다 하나지가 된지가 동안다 차와 대화나 때마다 드시원이야. 안 빼나 가와 수수로 대화 되는라는 가와서지. 아니 가와더라면 남중 가서 빼나 소소 가살라 야보시와이나 소소 니니 야보시나 야보시나 가와 또 보시나 아니 막가 되는 거 같아. 런지 로타르고. 다 소소 막가서질라 야치 람로 야보시나 다 대도 메디카리나 대항도 좀 되게 많이 받지. 가를 술려만 안 수수로 대화 가와 except to 와셔나 가와세.
And then, so when you see somebody, who are having a good time, enjoying or being happy, then thinking that, oh, that's so good that they're happy, like feeling happy for them over their happiness, right? Over their good things, that when a good thing happened to them, then then you feel happy for them. So that's the joy. Usually, when we feel happy when we see somebody that we like are happy, or having good time or being successful, but we don't feel that much happy, when we see somebody that we don't like are happy or successful. And when there's oh yeah, they're like that, then feel like not very happy. Like so not having that, but being happy for anybody, whether you like them or not, being happy over their happiness, right? And over their good fortunes, over their success and so forth. So that's called the joy.
되게 아니 예리 차다 되고 따뇽 참말라 따당 찍바 된리지가 다 내탐나 좀 어려워서 된리지 내 타바이 시원하 다 아니 네 따뇽 때문에 제가 그래.
And then being free from the hatred, and bias, so hatred and attachment, and so not seeing somebody, as very good and being attached to them, or not seeing somebody as bad and being having hatred towards them, not having that like that, but seeing everybody equal, so that's the equanimity.
제가 되게 번나 샴바트면도나 sabjata devada devijina tenbachi dema chambaro dembra chechik tenrigi sik chubo ngama kadamba lamatu chogo saraba cho chugoda sik de chanja cho sik de tenda da lola sha omne semna choa mali bada yan cho chogo res ane te no wat na ne tu mal ma chochi.
And so then like when you think about the love, wishing others to be happy, and saying, may they be happy, how wonderful it would be if they're happy. May the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas bless them to be happy, like that. So that, the Kadamba masters, they train their mind, to think in that way by reciting again and again, and then thinking on that. And so when they have developed that thought, very strongly in their mind, then they move, to the next one.
Okay. Any questions? Yes.
So give it to me.
I thought I heard Geshe say that this was only a Mahayana practice, because the commentary here says that it actually is not solely a Mahayana practice, but the objects are different for.
니제 첨보다 세단 대시에 니제 첨보셔. 대신은 마야나 시어. 세단 니제 첨보도 샤마쯤에 가는 더 통오셔요. 그래서. 근데 미에 sem제 첨에 발라 미베찬이 아니 샤바쯤에 제쯤에스. 거와쯤에라 그래서. 미에 sem제 첨에 봐요 보셨네.
네, 단처럼 단도된 것도 세메시시고 알아들라.
야, 단 네가 해야 돼. 대화 첨보 시작이 시는데 대화 첨보로 시작하지.
세메시 말해.
세메시라 된 로탄이도. 대화 첨보 시작하지는 제가 제가 안에 대화 도 못 냠내 제가 지요래서.
Yes, so there is this practice of the four immeasurables, that is that is according to the Mahayana, and then there is a practice of four immeasurables, that is common, with the Hinayanas.
Okay. 제가 아니 배나 이제 처음에 샴바 처음에 뭐 년도 되고 고마요래서.
Nyantola.
년도라 요래. 이제 처음에도 샴바 처음에 년도라 요래서.
So the healers also do the practice, of the immeasurable compassion, immeasurable love.
가르나 sem제 처음만 발음이 메쳐니 sem에살이 지시그래서.
So immeasurable, is called immeasurable because you're focusing on immeasurable sentient beings.
다 이제 첨보라고 삼말아야 안에 대화 좀 해봐나. 안에 학습도 샤지고 sem게 좀 조롱 게. 된대게 이제 첨보 이제 되돌아 안에 대화 좀 요 말이야.
And then the great compassion, that is according to the Mahayana practice, is a compassion that that becomes a cause, for superior intention or bodhicitta. And so that kind of compassion, which becomes a cause for the bodhicitta, is only in the Mahayana.
이나 단단 네 값이 대화돼 가지 대화 좀 시작이 된 거라. 단데라.
And so here, according, this one that is explained here, the four immeasurable is according to the Mahayana.
Okay. 근데 위에 sem제 처음에 발라 미치. 대야 안에 이제다 학습고 전 변했다. 샤지고 sem다 학습고 전 조는 거 아니 sem시다 공부 들삼 거래.
And then so here, like I said, it's talking about the four immeasurables, that is that is like the great compassion and great love, that becomes the cause for generating superior intention and bodhicitta.
제가 무예 semje tsema bachi. 아니 대가는 이제 무예 semje를 곰베게 아니 곰바보데 손음 tsema 바사가는 ts메시.
So because it is focusing, or thinking about immeasurable sentient beings, and also the practitioner who thinks about the compassion and love towards the immeasurable sentient beings also accumulates immeasurable matter. Therefore, it's called immeasurables.
Okay?
The object is different.
Yeah, object is good.
Those two. Okay.
semje를 쳐 여러분.
Is there is sentient beings measurable? Are sentient beings measurable?
Wait a minute.
Yeah, what did he say? Are sentient beings immeasurable? Yes.
Yeah.
semje beings.
In infinitude, forever. I mean, there's no
How
count.
many semje beings?
Well, you have endless world systems.
Is possible to count? Yes, countless, right?
Like counting atoms. I mean, it's
No, I'm talking about semje beings. Can we count fish? How many fish? Can we count elephants? I think
they're
they,
easier to count. They're bigger.
I think they count. 제가 안에 간제다 semje를 tsema 봐. semje를 tsema 봐. 이제 가도 semje 참을 하시는 가도 미를 강가 투어를.
So there's no way you can count the sentient beings. There's like countless sentient beings. But if you say all sentient beings, then that includes all sentient beings. That's like having counted all sentient beings.
그렇잖아. semje 참만 가나지 대화도 좀 등하면 더 준수를 해서 대자셔장 캐내로 와.
So like if you think of all sentient beings, right, so all sentient beings are equal in wanting to be happy and not wanting any suffering, just like myself. If you think like that, that's true, right?
True? Yes. Maybe someone like to have suffering.
Some do, but it's delusion.
Yeah, some do think that that's delusion, right? 또 지삼니 딱 나데 semje 참아 대화도 때문에 지지 동화도 잡아지려나? 다 셈매비 이 sem신라 미와 인자 저는 것도 셈매 봐서만다 안에 텔라미 별로들로 셈매해서.
So may all beings, me and myself, be happy and be free from suffering like that. So when you think like that, and you're thinking about immeasurable sentient beings, and therefore you accumulate immeasurable, merits.
다 딘딩이 셰다데 페나 더와 춤부 엄마 페나 바데 다와트 엄마 주베샤잖아 아니 니젤라야 이제 셈매다 시고. 저 고용지로 봐시.
이제 때문에
야 이제 셈매.
받은 나와나.
야. 바데 다와 엄마 페나 니젤라 미세게 아니 셈첼라 미바 출라 미바 미멜라 미바데 다 이제 셰다 마라오지 뭐래서.
So then also, like it is explained by Chandakirti in his engaging in the middle way, when you say talk about compassion, compassion observing the sentient beings, compassion observing the phenomena or dharma, phenomena, and then observe the compassion observing the non-objectifyings.
Okay. How you identified compassion for the phenomena? Is it correct? What you say?
Yeah, compassion observing phenomena.
What means that? Okay, Mr. Mark.
Well, I'm guessing
Oh, you
that you
guessed
could
it.
only have a general compassion for everything. I mean, can I have
Okay,
compassion for the
one credit
rain?
go down again. Okay, Alex.
Passion for
Phenomena. You said the what?
Well, so that's
Observing
for three
Observing
objects.
phenomena.
one
What
is, yeah,
means? What
observing
means that?
phenomena.
Okay, fair. Okay, Rika.
I just read the comments.
Oh, yes.
So it's,
Okay, when you cover it, then you don't have to say.
Can I
Okay, okay. Who would like to say? Anyone say to the Zoom? JJ, oh yeah, Rika, no, Rika, Laura. I should know.
Maybe, compassion observing phenomena, it might be like compassion when observing impermanence or suffering.
Garse.
미탁보 당 동al 미보 닝젤라 데네 철미 그니제스.
What you say again?
Compassion observing phenomena could be compassion when you're observing impermanence or suffering.
Tell me. They jubodra me.
So this stick that you see in Geshe's hand, you can have compassion for that?
No, but that
Nobody-
stick is not impermanence. That stick is impermanent. That's different.
Oh, I got that teaching to someone more about it.
미탁보 당 미탁보라서 미탁보다와라.
No, this you also fell. Sorry, one can go down. Okay, Jennifer.
Well, I mean, I've seen it, so you're observing a quality of the sentient being, which would be their selflessness. But I've also seen and read that you observe the impermanence of the,
I think you
for
get
that.
it.
But yeah, it's.
Okay, Vika, now you read.
It's the Slovakas and the who, since they have realized of no self of the individual. Really the phenomenon of the aggregate of essentially.
What you miss now? What you miss that?
So they're saying that that's the three different sentient beings, and the second one is the compassion for the phenomena, is the compassion for. This is what I read here. It's the Shravakas and
What do you understand?
because they understood that they understood.
No, what do you understand? Okay, Paul. Oh, you have?
They're saying that's as far as the Shrivaka, those, and the Pratyekabuddhas go. They don't go to the third level. So, but it would be the object is the selflessness of the person.
Then what?
And then the third one.
No, what do you miss? Not give me the example. The compassion.
Okay, so you have a compassion for their. Again, I've also heard it how Laura said that the impermanence of the being. You have compassion for the.
You need to have compassion for impermanent sentient beings.
Yeah, for that they're.
That means all sentient, all the compassion, the same object, all sentient beings are impermanent.
That a particular sentient being's impermanence, the fact that they're impermanent, the fact that they're selfless, the fact that.
You see them as impermanent and have compassion for them.
Yes, because it's.
But that's not
Instead of-
phenomena, is it? That's beings and how phenomena are
I
being.
thought you guys really could pass it. Okay.
The footnote of,
Oh, you guys, you didn't know that.
The wish that other beings would understand that their own ultimate nature, the selfness of persons, that's the compassion.
Okay,
that
okay,
observes
now
phenomena.
explain that. Explain for me that.
Okay.
What it
Yes,
means.
you have a compassion that they may all sentient beings understand their selflessness of person. That's
Really, not
or
that.
their impermanence. Like,
No, okay, Alex.
the footnote says, for the Shravakas and the Pratyekabuddhas, they see the aggregates as phenomena like any other phenomena.
I think you guys are reading that same video that you so not really clear. Okay, Angie. Okay, Margaret.
Hi, sorry, I give it a try. Is it to do with suffering?
Give
The
me the.
phenomenon.
Okay,
Huh?
give me the example one. The compassion. Absolutely. 3 objects.
I don't know textbook, but if I think about phenomena when I think about how say people in my family are suffering, and then you feel a great you suddenly understood that their suffering is the same as my suffering, and you feel a lot of compassion and you wish that they don't suffer. I don't know if that's correct.
Okay, Jennifer, she got it. Okay.
Okay, so is it? I think it's
Okay, yeah.
compassion observing
Yeah.
The four aspects of the first noble truth of suffering. So you're observing the impermanence, the suffering, the selflessness of the person.
And what?
So that's the object of your compassion. That's the object of your compassion.
Maybe you guys say correct, maybe I'm not understanding right away.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Well,
I need to understand what phenomenon is like. What
everything's phenomena.
everything.
Yeah,
Okay.
all phenomena. Okay, yes, we can try.
So the three compassions.
Yeah.
One is towards sentient beings, that's
Yeah.
ordinary beings.
Okay.
And the second one is, this is probably wrong, but my understanding from reading this is that the Sravakas and the solitary real vehicles, because they haven't, because this is from Mahayana point of view, they haven't enlightened yet, so they have realized just the selfless phenomena. And the third one is the compassion for those who sees conventional truth as illusion-like, but they haven't realized the full enlightenment. This is my understanding of this.
Those are the subjects, not the objects. The subjects are
No, the
ordinary.
subject, those are three subjects.
But
Sentient
they're
beings.
common to, like, those are common to.
Can I explain? So the object are the three beings. One is the sentient being. This is just my. So it's
Are you saying the sentient being is the object or the subject?
object of compassion? So that the sentient beings, and then the next one is the who realize a solitary realizer.
So you're saying the solitary realizer is the subject or the object?
Object. And
So
then
that's
the
wrong.
third one is
Okay.
those beings, those who see illusion like appearance.
Yeah, that's not what this book
Well,
says.
this is, so I know I'm wrong.
No, I
It's
just,
very fine.
Juju, you need to
it's on the
depend.
next page, yeah.
Okay, I think maybe you guys explain it right way. Maybe I don't understand the right direction. Then takaje. Semjem tamla maybe nije. Ani karo. I forgot. Semjem tamla maybe nijechi. Mimala maybe nijechi. Anti karo.
Sure.
Oh, chula maybe. Semjem tamla maybe nije the chiore. Chula maybe nije the chiore. Mimala maybe nije the chiore.
So, like I said, there are three kind of compassion, like the compassion observing the sentient beings, observing phenomena, and observing the non-objective things.
Shaitan, semje thamala maybe nijela, semje thala maybe nijela gres. Semje thama tela tamata trik chani chu shegamare. Dunga venim semjela migne kari non te dunga da tana chumaru ni ma chula maybe ma. Semje thala maybe nijesa.
그래서 심지어 사말랐다네.
Ah, semje kari na. Semje da tamata trik chani ma. Semje kari yela thongwa ina. Dunga da tana chi lotla ane semje thamla maybe nijesa.
So, whenever you see a sentient being suffering, no matter who they are, wishing them to be free from that suffering is the compassion, observing sentient beings.
Okay, it's clear, right?
Mhm.
다 니바데 chula maybe nijela wa ina.
So the second one, compassion, observing the phenomena.
semche mataba to be sharabji sembe ani tindege semche dunga da tandji nije da la ani chula me nije la gres seje ge chane yoda seje ge chane
심지어 호랑.
mame lo seje nije da seje ge chane ani nije da la chula me nije da semche mataba to be sharabji sembe nije da la ani chula me nije.
And so at first, you're not thinking about just, any kind of quality of the sentient beings, right? So you're just thinking about sentient beings in general, and then wishing them to be free from suffering. So that's the compassion, observing mere sentient beings, and then you see the sentient beings as being impermanent, and so with the wisdom, understanding, or with the mind or knowledge. And understand a knowledge of sentient beings as being impermanent, and then wishing them to be free from their suffering. So that's the compassion observing phenomena.
Isemi mama dama to be sharabji sembe kuni lo kagani shawarda kagani shawarda
마음에 안 든다, 메타바도 그래.
or matabaji look sembe seje matabaton below seje jetala ya am chula mi jes
다들 간제 소소소다 소소라다 얘기다 bên 심지제 통 심지제 어다 거 메타바레스 다삼 그런 메타바에 배차 삼래 안에 또 거다 닝제도 가서 거다 동화다 담지 말 삼아디
어때 mataw khoja matabaton below de yora tirilo nija sabati mata lu sanggoda
uh-huh. So that has to be, it has to be conjoined with that mind, right? Understanding the impermanence, of sentient beings. So you have to have that. It has to be conjoined with that mind, understanding the sentient beings as impermanent, and wishing them to be free from those suffering. So he has to be conjoined with these two minds. So that would be compassion, observing the phenomena.
Yeah, I don't understand.
No, that's exactly how I've heard it in the past. I just and
But here, they chiro.
So this is the phenomena.
Tell me nije yora.
Can you have a compassion observing this phenomena?
You have touched me for that, right? Beautiful sound. 제가 추세 어때 세제 맞다봐도 세제 전에 따요です. 세제 전에 로컬 세제 전에.
Yeah, so it's conjoined with that mind understanding the emptiness. I'm sorry, the impermanence here, the impermanence of the sentient beings.
Okay.
Sentient metaboto bro.
세제 맞다봐도 배. 다 세제 다음에 또 셔럽지 셈베게 이제달라 아니 미멜메미니지스.
And then the non-objectifying compassion is like so compassion conjoined with the mind understanding sentient beings as being as being selflessness or emptiness, right? So you understand the sentient beings who are empty of inherent existence, who are selfless, and then wish them to be free from that suffering. So free from their suffering. So that's this the wisdom understanding emptiness, has to be conjoined with the mind that wishes them to be free from suffering. So that's called the non-objectifying compassion.
The same as what you guys explained. Regarding Sam, the same or different? The commentary.
well,
Or the what?
it's basically the same. It's just it was interesting because in other texts I've read, it was exactly as Geshe had explained, but this one was saying that the compassion observing phenomenon actually was the selfnesses of persons. The realization conjoined with the realization of selfnesses of persons, not impermanence. Because then they said that the next one, the compassion observing, so the non-objectifying compassion was the compassion conjoined with the realization of the emptiness of true existence.
You can get both. Fine.
And that's why what Rika was saying, they're saying that the Shravakas and the Pratyeka Buddhists don't have that third level because they don't have the realization of the emptiness of true existence. They would only have the emptiness of.
That makes sense.
May not do that.
나
I may not do that. 이제 돈이 있는 거 말이야.
본의 고마대.
다들 콘조스나 다들 가서 년도다 라절데 더 미국에 민지 말했어. 가서는 콘조기 다음에 맞죠. 돈이 또 말했어.
네네. 한테 담에는 돈이 라고 말해. 돈이 고 말해.
So it's it doesn't have to be emptiness. It can be selfless also. So that's the non-objectifying compassion. So it can be possessed by the Sarvakas and Pratyeka Buddhas also.
Okay, maybe you guys say clear way, maybe we don't understand clear way, okay? But don't
maybe Laura, you said this is what you were saying when you said about the phenomena, impermanence.
It's different or same?
No, I don't think I explained it quite so specifically, but those are the two concepts that came to mind.
Okay.
다 저도 다 선을 가래. 다 아니 니제 대 다음에 또 비샤럽게 선 돈이 또 비샤럽 선을 가려 그래. 이때나 가래.
So again, when you say conjoined, right? Conjoined with that, the compassion conjoined with the wisdom realizing emptiness, or wisdom realizing impermanence. What does it mean when you say conjoined?
Okay. Yeah, Mark.
I get the hard ones.
Therefore, your small excuse to skip the class. Therefore, you better have one. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, Rika. What means conjoin?
Conjoin with the impermanence
Yeah, and me. Conjoined compassion, understand the emptiness of mind. It's correct? Did we say correct? Caution, you guys understand caution?
Yeah, compassion conjoined with impermanence, like the object.
Not impermanent.
Join with the wisdom realizing impermanence. So what does, actually the question is, what does it mean when you say conjoined? So how can you conjoin the compassion with the wisdom realizing emptiness?
I think he already, I think his class may be finished tonight.
So is it getting close to method and wisdom?
No, it's again, not better to don't talk. You can be long. Okay, Bob.
I think conjoined means like when one thought gets stronger, the other thought also gets stronger with it. So they get stronger together.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought you know what is smart is. I thought I'm a little bit nervous to say. You guys got it?
It doesn't have to be manifest mind, right? If you're
It's good to manifest. It's good enough. Yamba kaje nije the komji shuchewa sunji and matabala koma shuchewando. Amana matabala koma shuchewa tunji nije la komshan tad ni suggest changures.
So when you say conjoined, it has to be like that. And so when you become more familiar, with the compassion, then you become more familiar also with the wisdom realizing selflessness or impermanence. So that's called the conjoining.
But isn't that close to method and wisdom? Conjoining them together so that they're
They
physically one.
No, it's true.
Well, they're two, but they're becoming.
In order to come one is then you need to very high level practitioner. Then you'll be a very high level practitioner, they will be able to come one.
Kurukulla, can I have a question?
Okay.
So you're talking about the compassion in general. That means you say you have an object and someone to, you be compassionate with, and then you talking about the emptiness. That means that at the same time, you realize that yourself and also the person you feel compassionate with, and the nature, the true nature of the, it doesn't make any difference, so you don't get attached to, it's like a real object or something, you just, because you understand there's an equal for, what is the emptiness of the person you're compassionate with, also yourself. So that's why you get it. So
I don't get it. What Tom you said?
no, you tried to put on, because I know there's a one, I don't know if I understand correctly. I tried to, that's a
good for Tom you can translate.
yeah, that's a yeah, I tried to find, that's called like what is it, the 3/4 of will essential emptiness?
Okay. Oh, hold on. Now Tom you can translate me. I couldn't understand.
No, 3/4 of will essential. That means like
See what?
essential emptiness of the three. Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's too
different.
Yeah, it's a similar concept that when you're doing like you're compassionate, right? You give in and then you know there's object, but it's you also not understand it's a right, depends on the right thing. So you appear someone, you feel compassionate with it, but you understand also the impermanence, also emptiness. So when you during the process, you still like compassionate with the person, but on the other hand, you also know the nature, so you don't attach to the person, the object, and also the process, because it's all the nature is emptiness.
Da semjela nyingje kyewa di yakures da nyingje kyewa ne nyingje di da semjing rangshi de matona semjing rangshi da bena mitagbe rangshi da dene dame be rangshi de matoba ina ne semjela chaba kesi gres da dene maya shude dene semjing rangshi de da rangshi da mitagbe rangshi da an dame be rangshi de togna 똑바디 되는 개침불에서 그랬어. 디레베스.
어떻게 개침을 제일 아주 또 그랬어.
Yes, that's important, to understand the nature, of the sentient beings, like the nature of impermanence and nature of the inner selflessness, of the sentient beings.
Yeah, so it's like a real giving. I think I found another term called a real giving with three empty like nature essentials. So when you understand that and you are like compassionate with the object, but you on the same time you also understand it depends on the rising, right? So yeah, that's my question. Anyway.
bên 동바 가서 동바 좀도 그래 가서 가서 더 진바 동안도 좀도 그래 땅도 그래 동제요 더 동외 제디 다 가족에 다 직동바 좀 다가 파대 봐야 되네 그걸 잡아 용식이라서 다 되게 라신스 하고 그래 되는데 되게 다 버려 되는데 내 다음에 버려 되서 또 와야 되네 그걸 되네 잡아라 되네 뭐 말아 센다던 되네 뭐 말았어
네 여보다 심바시 렘보 동화데 됐다 땅다 야수들 했어.
Yeah, of course, when you do the practice, of the generosity, like, you can meditate on the impermanence or selfless or emptiness, like the substance that you give, the person to whom you give, and yourself as the giver, or you think of all these three as being empty of, true existence, like that. So if you do that, of course, that's much more beneficial.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, okay, that's good. 다 두체네까지 아니 니제라미 왔는지 아니 니제 때문에 아니 가로 잡아 때문에 반유 때문에 숨rel라 숨과 숨rel라 이제 두체네 공부해나 아니 냥을 대비 공부 더 그래스 산지 공부 야무나 다 준비 공부 오케이
되는 공부에는 바로 그래서
이제 공부 이 산지 공부 아니 맨날 다 준비 공부 더 그래스
왜?
Yeah.
So anyway, so if you meditate on these immeasurables, like the immeasurable compassion, immeasurable love, immeasurable equanimity, then you will achieve a state of full enlightenment.
And full enlightenment, and touch me come 냥을 대비 공부 더 그래스
Or at least in four destroyers, arhat.
근데 가테 마토바 임바이나스 가테 마토바 임바나야 아니 가잖아 감 공부 지원할래도 그래스
But if you didn't achieve that, then you will be born in the upper realms.
아니 참비 지테 대화 토브란지스 좋아
So you achieve the bliss of the Brahman realm.
right okay 다 오늘 때 가르쳐서 다 뒤치 좀 하려고 시체지들하고 어때 맛이 나셔도
And then what is that? And that's said in the next verse. Can you recite that?
The four jhanas are total abandonment of sensory experience, joy, pleasure, and discomfort. Through them you obtain the good fortune as the god realms of Brahma, Abhisvara, Suvaksha, Krishna, and Bodhipala.
okay well you can understand that 가제 다 되네 아니 다 주면 고마 또 맞다 와인다 야 아니 something 탐보 아니 시 야만나 줌이제 되네 제와처럼 렌도 그래스
And so if even by doing this practice, if you are not able to achieve the higher, like the achievement of the Buddhahood or the arhatship, you will at least will have this the achievement of the higher higher realm rebirth.
간제 너도 가는 아니 너발라 라파다 아니 고마라 셔봤다니 도지네 아니 다 야야 동이 오면
And so these are the high realms, like the form realm and the formless realm, where you see the desire realm as growth, or in this context, the growth means like having lots of suffering, a lot of problems, a lot of sufferings, So seeing them as a growth, and then seeing the higher realm, like the form realm and the formless realm as a peace. And then you strive to do the practice to achieve that. So that's called the practice for achieving the higher state of rebirth.
이 간에서는 나가도 뻔다 아릴라 띄우면 더 텔 스페인도나 야본도 우사메라 스페인도 답시 제대로 대선으로 그랬어 Arya Chibum, Arya Chibum, Arya Nagarjuna, Arya Lombola de Chibum, Norachajarashas, Tele any Asia country, the Spanish, Spella, dog will do some tell you things on the years.
And so it's like, seeing a lot of problems, in America, and then wanting to go to the Asian country or like Spanish country like that. So wishing, seeing that there as a more, happiness or peace, and seeing here as more suffering and problems, and therefore wanting to be, wanting to go there. So that's that kind of thing. That.
Spanish Kangi, what can I Kangi? Something Tomala Kangi, something Tomala Kangi, can tell a top about the Chepathes, yeah.
And then you find that, even if I go to Spain, there's still a lot of problems there. So it's similar to that. Even if you go up, to the first concentration in the form realm, that's called the first concentration, second concentration, third concentration in the form realm. So even if you go to the first or second concentration, there's still problem there. They have this the analysis and investigation problems there. And then they think, there's a problem in the first concentration, so therefore, better go to the second concentration. So then they strive to do the practice, to achieve or to be born in the second concentration. And then you see the second as also you see the problem in second, and then say, that there's in the third there's no problem. You think that, and then you start to do the practice, to achieve the third concentration. Then when you achieve the third concentration, then you see the same problem again there. And then you see, there's a lot of problem there also here in the third concentration. Now I'll go to the fourth concentration where there will be less problem. And so then you say, so even in the form realm, all this, first, second, third, and fourth concentration is all in the form realm. So in the form realm, there's a lot of problems. So it'll be better, if I don't, and have this form. So I'm going to be born in the formless realm. Then there's there's a four level of the formless realm. It's called what is called the infinite space, infinite consciousness, and then nothingness, and then peak of existence, like that. The four level of formless realms. And so these terms that you found difficult to pronounce, is talking about that's called the 17 regions of the form realm. That's the 17 regions under the form realm. These are the names for that. So it's like you say, it's not happy here in the Boston, so you move to California. That's not happy there, so move to Minnesota. And like that, you keep moving, from place to place, thinking that there's no happiness here, might be more happiness over there, like that.
California Boston
If you go to California, you might be free from the suffering of the extreme cold in Boston, but then you face another different kind of problems there.
I am in California and Florida, Florida, California, Florida,
So if you move from California to Florida, you might be free from the suffering or problems of California, but then you also faced with the problems of Florida. So this 17th region of the form realm is similar to like that.
Okay, but this is not easy to understand. You guys read the commentary, but this is not as easy to understand. It's very complicated. But anyway, what they say, if you practice meditation for the compassion and love, if you're able to be enlightened, if not, maybe you become able to born that. 제가 내가 오토치니까 내 시다 아니 되게 감감에 된적이 샤주 선바 이런 다준바 요레스 양가 섬지까지 될 게나야 되게 좀 강가 세네야 내소제로 되네 연구 요레스.
And so there are like these kind of realms, like the form realm, the formless realm, all this, of course, you have to do the practice, you have to develop the concentration, and you will be born there. You need a lot of merit to be born there. And of course, there's a lot of enjoyment and happiness while you are there. But then those merits can be exhausted. And so when you have exhausted or used up all those merits, then you have no merits to stay up there. Then you can fall down into the lower realm, even into the hell realm like that.
Okay, I think not much to discuss. That too difficult to also explain in just a short class. They're very difficult. You guys also make it difficult. We'll stop there. Now let's go to the next one. 42. Okay, read 42.
5 attributes determine the strength of good or evil deeds, those done constantly with a strong motivation, lacking an antidote, and in relation to the 2 bases of the highest good qualities. Therefore, strive to engage in the practice of virtue.
Okay, we understand. Okay, Jennifer, you can explain.
What I think it's saying is that that what determines whether the strength of how good or bad your action is going to be based on how frequently you do the action, your motivation, and whether or not you engage in an antidote, and then the basis of the object, which can be ordinary or superior. So like the sort of the object, like if you made an offering to your teacher or your parents or something like that.
Okay, are you guys like to say, someone like to say something? Where are you, JJ? Oh, JJ.
I mean, this one seems pretty straightforward, right? Like the strength of the goodness or the badness of your actions is determined by what is then listed.
Okay. Niki tena tambo de ta chunina ta dangambre shenda nyembo mese no ta se de kanji juntuni gewa da tiba top chimjine juntuni chemaja rale gres juntuni.
So
amana juntuni.
the shibshinidra.
Ya shini de ta dangambre shenda nyembo mese.
So the 5 attributes determine the strength of good or evil deeds, those done constantly, with a strong motivation, lacking an antidote. So like constantly, it means like, continuously, right?
Yeah, continuously, every day. Yeah, what's it frequent?
Frequently?
Yeah. Kana gewa da magewa kana top 체주는 가는지 연구가 그래서. 저는 가디만 체마자 알래 그래서 딱 바꿔도 보잖아.
So what makes your virtue, strong, is whether if you do it constantly or not.
Okay. 다 대리 제 산이 맞지. 엔드라치 제 시험 맞잖아. 저한테 쉬지 못하 용 말해서.
So if you do it today and you don't do it tomorrow, or you do it this week and don't do it next week, like that, if you don't do it continuously or constantly like that, then it doesn't become strong.
제가 곰라고 하자마자 곰님은 딱봐 잡고 얼마 저 대리 잡 산이 샤샤나야 티니만 냠고 그래서.
And like when you do the meditation, you have to do it every day. If you otherwise, if you do it today and you don't do it tomorrow, then that power of meditation will reduce.
제가 개와 덤마가 가르쳐봐야 나. 니바 트wen드 마통 저도 용마는데 가 전투는 제마지를 하려 그래서 와.
And so same with the non-virtuous actions also, the virtuous actions and non-virtuous actions, right? So it's the same, whether it becomes strong or not, whether it becomes effective or not, depends on whether you do it continuously or constantly or not.
대칙지. 아야 니바데까지 아니 개와도 먹게 와까지 샘체당 콩초 아니 그런 냠바 시마지라 하래 그래서
Number shemashi.
냠바 시마지 다텔라 그 차바유메 야마네 셴바유메가 하래 그래서
And then also um, um, and then also when you do it, when you do it with a strong feeling or strong thought, about it, then it depends on that also.
개와 제바이나야 꿀농 슈체모 제와나 아니 슈체제도와 두가 제바이나 꿀농 슈체모는 두체가 그래서
So if you do a good thing, if you have a strong thought or strong motivation, for doing that, then it becomes strong also. But also same with the non-virtuous action. So if you're doing something bad, if you have a very strong motivation for doing that bad, then that bad will also be very strong.
다 되네 아니 지 개와도 먹게 가르치나 텔라 님보 때는 토마토를 하래 그래서
And then also, whether able to apply the antidote or not.
다 나중에 지금 수술라 파마다 수술 기접제고서 텐레라야 페노지 펜바 전에 텔라 개와 슈치야다 너와지는 너와 슈치 대용 그래서
And then also like someone who has been kind to you, like your parents, your teachers, if you do good to them, then it becomes more powerful. If you do bad to them, also it becomes more powerful.
안 다는 이거 다 수수 고소 두대 때 던지다 아니 수수 라마라야 페노 제마질 여기 차네 아니 수수 독체 중요 그래서
And then also in terms of the object, like the holy objects, the representative of Buddha's body, speech, and mind, and when one's guru. So because of their objects, from the side of the object, it also makes difference, in what you do. When you do good, to those kind of objects, then that good, that virtuous action becomes very powerful or strong. And if you do bad, also then that non-virtuous action becomes very powerful and strong. If you do it, towards that object, like the statues, the scriptures and the guru and so forth.
배차샤나 최첨보식 요와 이제 텔라 찬윤주리는 타가서는 소도 말아와서 그때도 지발해서 최첨보 요와지 얘는 타티들은 타가서는 소도 말아다 조건을 휴치한다 타티들이 곧 타가서도 말아와.
So just like if you have a lot of water and you put you add a little bit of salt, you won't be able to make that lot of water salty.
제가 개와 주주지가 득바 첨보지 소도 말해서.
And so just like that, so with the small virtue, you will not be able to overcome a big non-virtues.
다 되게 빼달라 안에 쇼로 가서 주십시오. 빼들 빼.
And so the example of that is given in the verse 43.
Can you read that?
Let's see. A pinch of salt can change the taste of a little water, but not the entire Ganges River. You should know that the same applies to the minor negative actions and vast roots of virtue.
제가 텔레리가 이제 타가 야보 영화라 아니 텔레 뉴에 코라고 넣어거든. 그때 로가탄 배 때도 지발해서.
And so if you want to make the thing salty, then you have to add equal amount of salt to make it salty.
제가 타 임마도 주시면 도와서.
So just because you have a salt doesn't mean it's going to be able to make it salty.
제가 득바 먹게와 첨보도 어느 다야체 제가 그게와 이마듬도 말 게와 떡좀 못 사고 그래서.
And so in order to overcome a great amount of non-virtues, just having a virtuous action is not good enough. You have to have a big amount of virtuous actions also to overcome or to to purify that a big amount of non-virtues.
다 개와 떡좀 먹을지 사고 그래서나. 개와 떡좀 먹을지 사고 그래서 와이나.
Okay, just check the 아니요?
개와 떡좀 먹을지 사고 그래서. How to create the strong, powerful merit. Chocolate, yes.
Everything you're saying is is clear, right?
Okay.
Except it creates one big gap in my mind.
Okay, what gap?
Going from this, how do you run out of karma? They're saying you're creating more virtue. It's a habit. It's with a lot of force. And so if you're doing it, your mind stream is going on a certain trajectory. It's being propelled habitually, strongly. How do you run out of karma? Like if you're creating that karma, where does it go? How does that happen?
Okay. Is this room warm now? Yes. Where the cold gone? Because we have more heat. Where the cold go? Where they go outside? Where they go?
Dissipates.
No, well, how did it dissipate? Exactly the same. Warm has more power, power go away. Same. More create positive, the negative finish. Negative purify. That
But are you wondering about like how in the form and formless realm?
Yeah, it seems like
create all
whenever
this-
you progress, inevitably you burn out your karma. How does that happen?
what would say?
Like when you go to the form and formless realm, right? You create all this good positive karma to get there, and then your mind is peaceful the whole time. Why doesn't your mind keep creating positive karma and you stay there?
Because you're not engaging in any virtue.
Yeah, you didn't do
But
anything.
you can have mental virtue.
No, you didn't do any virtues. Those like regular people will go there. They just doesn't do anything. Just like sleeping.
So they created virtue to get there, but when they're there, they don't create more virtue.
They have also like even the Arya brings that they can create like karo sozochola karo. Ordinary beings being that they didn't create any karma. Some karma, some doesn't create karma. They just use the positive karma. Positive karma finish. They don't create the negative karma. What's that? Finish. They just use the whole positive karma.
So they're not creating positive karma when they're there,
Yeah,
and so they're using it up.
they use it all.
So they're not creating any karma at all, right?
When?
Why would we want to go there?
No.
We don't.
No. We think they will go. That
Arya's going to help.
yeah, Arya is going to help also. This is better than for our place. We have a lot of suffering. They have no suffering. They're all with peace. We need to go there. We want to go there. But that place also it doesn't create a new positive karma. We use all positive karmas.
Using your analogy to hot and cold, what's the counterbalancing force that, they have this good karma. Yes, they're not creating more, but there has to be what's the countervailing force?
What is countervailing force?
But that all that bliss that they're experiencing, that's the ripening of their past virtue. So it's just burning out.
So
And
they're not thinking, they're just on a big
They don't have
bliss
thinking.
trip.
They don't have thinking. They really relax. They really enjoy that. They really.
Because if you're thinking, you're creating
You
karma.
don't have to pick anything. You just really enjoy. Really relax. All the very blessing. They're all positive karma. But this is no different. Even the Arya is that. And Buddha Shakyamuni was there. They were in order to karpenan tonam chevala, Egypt double pache goren. Tonam toma chevala.
Like in order to be able to enter into the mind and enter into the path of seeing, you have to come down to the desire realm. It can be only generated, the path of seeing can be only generated for the first time in the desire realm. You can't generate it, for the first time in a form realm or formless realm.
But it would have to be on the basis of a human in the desire realm, right?
Yeah, it's not cows.
Yeah. Only-
Okay, do you guys give me my question answer? How to create that? Tenley about that give up to Magari Sabores.
Karimbaza.
Tanking out to Nesha Jaimba. Give up to Magari Sabores.
So anyway, we just talked about that, right? How do we create a strong positive action?
Chumambo depend on Tagadola, Chokoran, Niba de Taiko, Petenaji, Gava Chunju, Dipachimos, Mevasoto Maris. Then the tag give up to Magari Sabores.
And so just like in the example it gave about the salt, a pinch of salt cannot make the whole Ganges River salty. Like that, you can't overcome a huge amount of non-virtuous actions by creating a small amount of virtuous action. So how do we create a big amount of virtuous action?
Okay, Alex.
Developing good habits.
Just I need you guys to really look at this book.
And the first one's developing good habits.
Okay. Then. Okay, yeah, Mark.
Or motivation.
Okay, Rika. There are five different things. You see me there? There are 5 things. What are the 5?
Action, determination, choice, I don't know.
Okay, you got it.
The frequency, doing it constantly, the motivation, not having an antidote, and then the 2 fields, whether it's a superior. To get a lot of virtue, you would want to create virtue with in regard to like superior being, like the holy objects.
Correct.
Yeah.
So if you are related, if these practices are related with those 5 that we just read in the verse 42, then the virtuous action becomes powerful.
Okay, now you got it, Rika? Good. Now you got it? You sure? You want to repeat? Okay, any question you guys have?
Yes, I have questions.
Yes.
So sorry, can you explain lacking an antidote in relation to good deeds? Usually I thought antidote is easy to understand when it's bad action. We have an antidote against bad action. So for good deeds, why do we need an antidote? Like what example can you give as an antidote to good deeds?
nyembo meba se karsa kala gors nyembo meba da pena the gyawa shuchimbo so ala tene ta do temba da tene kulo yabu gogores ana nyembo meba gogores te nyembo meba se karla da gyawa lela kar nyembo meba karsa gogores
te nyembo te mataba dela garo nado pena gyawa shuchimbo chewala parche gore otela nyembo te mataba da gyawa shuchimbo yo mares.
So lacking an antidote, so like when you are doing a virtuous action, you might get a lot of obstacles, right? So you have to apply antidote to those obstacles. So lacking an antidote to those obstacles will stop you from creating the positive actions.
Okay. Thank you. And
gewe shawa chewala chen chuju jo nado te o ta teri osama de yusha do o tela parche da te ngaju te kapi cha to mo was.
So like if we want to do a virtuous action, sometimes say, oh, this is too difficult, or I don't have to do it right now. I'll do it sometime other, like that. That kind of situations arise. So if you don't apply antidote to that, then you will not do it. So you will just go with that, and then you will not do it. And so it's important to apply antidote to that. So that's what lacking antidote means.
Okay, I got more questions. Sorry.
Yeah.
Mark say, Kejala, I'm not class, I'm too sleepy. Sleepy. Check that. It's not serious.
Yeah. Okay. Another question. Sorry, I don't understand the part in relation the 2 bases of the highest good qualities. What is it referring to, the 2 bases of the? I got a little bit when Jennifer explained, say, okay, when we holy being, higher holy objects, you get more virtue, more merits. But what are the 2 bases of the high?
제가 때려 아니 소주고 받나 소주 까지기 차니 소주로 까지기 전에 소주고 파마 솔라 직다 샵주 쳐봐야나 아니 때 소는 거 솔랍 좀 사는 거래시 아 파마를 막게 받지만아야 득발랍 좀 사 그래시
뭐라서는 신이라도 신이도 가르스.
대신에 직 파마요 그래 직도 아니 개념도 그래시
So the two bases are, the one is one's parents and one is one's gurus.
Okay.
파마데 까지기 전에 센들라 빠 소주 다 지워져 간다 나 개개도 센들게 람도 칭해야 된다 딱 까지기 전에 두돌아 막게 붙이나 아니 개바 제와나 개와 뭐 사와다 막게 붙이나야 막게 못 사는 그래시
So in terms of the kindness, like the one's parents, have been very kind, to us in this life. And then the teachers, being very kind to us by showing the path. So if we, respect them, then we create very strong positive action. If we disrespect them, then also we create very strong negative actions.
Okay. Last question, sorry. So I counted only 4. Frequency, done constantly, strong motivation, lacking antidote, and in relation to the 2 bases. Are you counting the 2 bases as 2 that make it 5?
True, they come true, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Then I'm clear. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Yes.
With respect to Margaret's question, I think so. This verse is referring to how to either a negative action or a positive action becomes stronger. So, so as with respect to the antidote, it's easy, as you say, to understand how a negative action becomes stronger if you don't apply an antidote to it, you say. So I think in the same way, right, when you say a positive one is strong if there isn't something that opposes it. But also for the 2 bases, could it be not specifically your parents, but like ordinary beings versus superior beings? Because that's going to make it how heavy the karma will be. Like it's going to be like a virtuous action will be more heavy, more positive in relation to a.
Yeah, you can go that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you not only physical, only that. Your parents and teachers. You can go also, regular and go holy beings, all holy objects, go everything. Yeah. Okay. Any questions, Rika? Are you okay? Now you got it. You clear? Okay, Mr. Mark. Now you know how to enter for the take on the head. Yes.
Because I just want to clarify something about the 3 objects of the 4 immeasurable thoughts. And the second one you said was for instance, the compassion observing phenomenon. So the subject is the mind compassion conjoined with the wisdom realizing impermanence, observing
free from
the impermanence of
free from the suffering.
Okay, free from the suffering. Yeah. So it's still a sentient being is the object, but just specific.
Object sentient beings, not this book.
But the subject is the compassion conjoined with the wisdom realizing impermanence, observing the impermanence of that.
Garo, observe na garo.
Mikwa.
Mikwa mar, te topic lo tingita.
Simjele mikwa se, simjele mikwa ningje se ata, chole mikwa ningje se ajora. The mikwa se.
Mikwa ningje la ta. 그 샘질 미여봐. 매다 샘질 미여 마치 담에 또 비샤 주 선대 바인자 마다고 또 루스 선대마다 미메라 미비니지. 줄라 미비니라 그래.
미다바 샘빌자 줄라 미비니지.
마다바 샘질 마다바 또 루스 샘베.
라다 쳐 미다바데로 쳐라다.
마다바도 쳐라다. 되네.
다음에 들어가는 다 같이 미메라.
미 다음에도 미메치. shada da mata de chewa kaya ma da ga je semji da me ba da ani semji da me ba.
So yeah, of course, just like you said, the observing, the phenomena is like thinking about the sentient beings as being impermanent, right? So it's you with the wisdom realizing sentient being as being impermanent, and then wishing them to be free from suffering. So that's observing the compassion, observing phenomena. Whereas the compassion, observing sentient being is just general sentient being, not thinking about sentient beings being impermanent or being selfless, just thinking of sentient beings in general only, and then wishing them to be free from suffering, that would be observing sentient being. And then when you add that, thought of sentient beings as being impermanent and wishing them to be free from the suffering, that would be observing the phenomena. And then you add that thought, sentient beings as being as being free of inherent existence or true existence, and then wish them to be free from those suffering. That would be the compassion observing non-objectifications like that.
Clear? Okay, now we stop. Otherwise, Mark's going to fall asleep. I'm just kidding. Are you guys okay?
Yeah, yeah.
There? I think Laura already started these things here. Right? Maybe she just forgot the objects. I'm sure she already started. This is usually, this is also Dharma Kirti. But the Dawega, Oma Jubanon, the Shijangur, to record it.
This Chandakirti explains in his engaging in the middle way.
아니 니제데 통다 파르던 같이 뭐래 송그래서 니제라 통만 채워지네. 남주변에 배자 쳔바트도 담보 산제다 산주도 뭐 붙여지 그랬어. 한 오만 주변에 담보 니제라 채워지 그랬어. 제가 니제도 개쳐 버렸어. 근데 니제 정말 말하고 쓰면 시작 그랬어.
And then also, he explains more on compassion because it's very important at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. And therefore, he also pay homage to compassion at the beginning of his text. So many other texts, they pay homage, to Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and other deities and so forth. But he paid homage, to the great compassion.
Okay. Good.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, now it's done.
Okay, short prayers.
Yep.
Page 39 for the Thanksgiving mandala offering. Saji Pertu
Sujame to
Vira Pichi Degen Badi Sange Jingdu Te Huagi Droku Namda Jingla Chirpa Sho Jetu Lame Kutse Rapten Chin Namka Chingen Jojo Gipada Lozon Tempe Drole Sasungi Drole Muso Tangu Negurchi Idam Guru Lapandala Namjayataya Page 43. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Savior of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings, who extensively clarifies the path that unifies emptiness and compassion, to the lotus in the hand, Lord Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. And page 49. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjuna's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplish magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, savoring myself and others, your disciples, please return swiftly. Page 57. Through this virtue, may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddhist state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious Supreme Bodhi mind, may it be born arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. A couple of quick announcements. So tomorrow we have Guru Puja at 7 o'clock. And then Friday at 8, every Friday, Japa leads a recitation of the chanting the names of Manjushri for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. And then Saturday is the anniversary. Oh, no, not this Saturday. It's 2 weeks from this Saturday. So never mind that. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Mark. You got the antidote, right?